We're going to start with SABMiller, which, as you know, is the world's second largest beer brewer, and it was founded in 1895, owns brands such as Castle, Grolsch, Snow, and Pilsner Urquell.
Exactly. So those are the big ones within the SABMiller fold. I suppose, of course, one should add Miller as well, which is the big US brand.
Market cap here, we're talking 1 trillion rand, PE of 26.4, dividend yield of 2.2%. But the focus is on the...
Those numbers,
are
of
not
course,
right.
No, they're correct. They're the ones that are adjusted by the big move yesterday.
Yeah, well, you
that
looked as though you were weighing in to tell me that I'd done something wrong. Excuse my confusion.
1.047 trillion rands. So that's a big, big company. It's one of the largest in our market. And of course, it's listed in London as well as here. So let's go into what we know about the stock.
Yeah. And the offer on the table, AB InBev wants to buy SABMiller.
So there's no firm indication of what that offer is, other than that there are rumors that the board has been approached and that some of the key shareholders of SABMiller have been tapped by the Brazilians. The Brazilians, of course, are the people that own and control AB InBev, which is a combination of InBev and Anheuser-Busch, which was the big US entity, of course. So now what do we know is that something is in the offing. The share price has moved sharply higher. We don't know what the final price is. We don't know if a deal is going to be done, but we know everyone's got lawyered up.
Look at that move sharply higher. Of course, that's providing us with a bounce in our portfolio.
Exactly. So that's the little green balloon there shooting off because it's a 5-year
charge.
Are
there no competition issues around two heavyweights coming together, an SABMiller and an AB InBev?
Yeah, there are, of course. There's a lot of talk about that. But I actually think that stuff is rubbish because it's not as though beer is the only liquid you can drink.
So you don't think that there should be any
I think the competition authorities
guidelines?
should sit down. Why is it a problem if somebody owns all of the beer in one country? People can drink water, they can drink wine.
But don't they have an unfair
they can drink
advantage over the pricing?
Jimmy Jagger,
they have an unfair...
Bacardi, Breezer, all of that.
Are you going to listen to me? They have an unfair advantage over pricing of the product. Isn't that the
But
rationale?
if beer is too expensive, then people will drink bottled water instead. So, I mean, I know I'm being slightly annoying.
Yes, you are.
My point here is that I think there will be consumer pushback from the competition authorities, most especially in the United States of America, because Budweiser, Miller, and Coors would then all be in the same family, which is a bit much. But there's also the craft beer. What about the craft beer?
Yes, but that's a very small industry
Only
relative
the hipsters who drink craft
the
beer.
heavyweights. It could damage the craft beer industry from a price point issue. Anyway, I want to bring up something else. SABMiller was the top brand in the competition that we ran. That was run by Neelan.
People love this stuff.
Won by Neelan.
People love, I mean, beer, of course, and it's the attractive part of it is that they use the brands to upsell people, you know. So at the moment, the top brand in South Africa as far as beer is concerned is Castle Light, which is a surprise to me. I thought it was Carling Black Label or Castle.
What do you drink? What do you drink?
You know, I mostly drink Heineken, I'm sorry to say, which is not, in fact, an SABMiller brand at all.
Oh, at least you're putting your
And if I'm not
preference out
drinking
there.
that, then I normally drink Windhoek Lager, which is also not part of this. And we own the shares. I think I'm going to have to put a stop to that.
Now that we've got the detail on your drinking
Pilsner
habits.
Urquell, I must say, is very nice.
Oh, that's up there, is it?
Okay, but what's going to happen here? What's going to happen here?
What is going to happen on SABMiller?
Remember, the Anheuser-Busch InBev guys are 3 times larger. So they are worth 3 trillion rand, roughly, in terms of their market capitalization. And you know also that as far as corporate credit debt markets are concerned, there is an unending amount of cash you can raise at rates that are lower and have never been lower since they built the pyramids. So if there was ever a time that you were going to go and raise $100 billion in the market to buy out a company like this,
this is the time.
This is it.
With interest rates at 0.
Exactly. What I would suggest is more likely, though, will be a combination of the two entities and there'll be a scrip swap. I'm hoping that that's the case, so that South African investors will still be able to own the enlarged AB InBev, SABMiller, or whatever they decide to call it. Mega brew.
Haven't we seen this coming to the party a couple of times? The promise of corporate action.
No, you're right. And in fact, this time last year, there was a similar rumor and the share price went up 13%.
So what makes it different this time around?
Well, firstly, the fact that both parties have appointed investment bankers to manage this process. The fact that a formal approach is in the wings. They don't normally go formal at the beginning because there are all sorts of regulatory complications. But what it appears is that Anheuser-Busch InBev have spoken to Altria, who are a 27% shareholder in SABMiller, who've probably given them the thumbs up. The Santo Domingo family, those Colombians that sold Bavaria to SABMiller, they've also been brought on board.
So this is going ahead in your book?
I think it's going ahead, and I think they'll probably be prepared to do whatever they need to do in terms of the competitive concerns to like offload, Harbin in China and focus on snow.
How long is a transaction of this magnitude going to take?
Look, if both boards recommend the deal to their shareholders,
it can happen quickly.
It could happen, well, probably 4 or 5 months. If it's a drawn-out fight and one party doesn't want to do the deal because they don't think enough money is being put on the table, then I'm afraid it could take even longer. And the longer it takes, the less likely it is to happen. Remember those deals years ago between Billiton and Rio, very big deals. If they don't immediately result in board agreement, there's a sense that they could just go on and not happen at all.
Anything else you want to add on this one?
A lot of people have been asking us via public forums like social media and so on what they should do with their SABMiller if they own them now. My view is hold, because this is a good deal for both parties. And the talk in the market is that where SABMiller, which is principally listed in London, moved from about £30 to about 36 or something pounds yesterday, or from 32 to 36, there's talk that a deal, if one is done, will have to be closer to 40
And
pounds.
of course the temptation is, though, with this nice spike, is to take your money and run, because you've done well.
Yes, indeed. But, we're in this thing for long-term gains. We're supposed to be patient. We could even, as far as the hot stocks portfolio is concerned, wait for the full deal to go fully unconditional.
We're going to wait.
The new share.
Are you saying we are going to wait?
I think so. I suppose the issue really would become, if we get a sense that the deal's not going to happen, then maybe we should press the exit button. But the trouble is, how will we know?
Right now, we think it's full steam ahead with the deal.
Right now, I think the deal is likely to go ahead. The deal is likely to be done at a higher price than the shares currently trading, and I think one should hold
Hot
and
or not?
certainly stay
Hot
in the stock.
or not?
So hot.
You're hot.
In fact, I suppose you could even argue you could buy a few now in anticipation of that slightly higher price.
But you're not going to make that much money on that slightly higher. Are you sure you want to put that
Well,
as
look,
advice out there?
You don't normally buy shares when the deal price has been announced and the share is sort of sitting a rand or two below that, because it's just time value of money. But in this case, the share price is sitting a fair bit lower than what could be the final eventual swap ratio. So I think there's still
potentially buy
attractive
some more.
value there. Yeah.